Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this hypnosis session, you'll be listening to an anxiety hypnosis session for a client that had a fairly unique form of anticipatory fear and specific type of worrying. And it was a client that had acquired a cat, a kitten, during COVID, formed a very close bond with this cat. But the cat had a very adventurous nature, would often get itself into trouble, had to go to the vet several times. And as a result of that, and the nature of it being very independent and kind of going away from the house for very long periods of time, the owner of the cat would worry a lot. And the nature of worry is to think about things that are possible but not always probable and feel an emotion linked to them. Normally, the kind of anxiety that feels like a twist in the gut. And she would obsessively think about the cat until, and there was an app that she had connected to her cat flap, until she had the reassurance of either seeing her cat or having a notification that her cat had returned. It was evident from the conversations that I had with the client before I did the hypnosis that there were lots of worst case scenario thoughts and then acting as if they were real. So imagining the cat had been injured or lost or trapped, and then acting as if that was real, and then dealing with the potential ramifications and implications of whatever she had considered. And what was evident, and we tested this in the session, is that when she made a positive evaluation about what the cat was doing, it was impossible for her to feel anxious. Therefore, she had, for the first time, evidence that it was nothing to do with the cat and everything to do with her thoughts. And therefore, once she had that as the stepping stone belief system, then it was about rehearsing and practicing how to go from an intrusive, worrying thought to a more helpful, positive thought that would change her state. Worrying quite often is a game of open loops. When you have, let's say, an open loop in her case was, what if my cat is lost? Well, then that open loop leads to, well, where is the cat lost? How is she going to find it? Is she going to need to go to vets and ring around? And all of the ramifications of an unanswered question that probably isn't real, but the brain starts thinking about all of the consequences of that open loop. What you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is a way of closing the loop. And quite often the way of dealing with, in this case, the worry is to activate a feeling of trust. And the way of dealing with the feeling of needing to control all the variables with a cat is acceptance, accepting that it's quite an independent creature. And when you replace one thing with another, and it's the kind of things that really do make a difference in terms of the emotions, it has a dramatic difference on the quality of life. So you're going to hear all of this in this fairly short hypnosis session. It's not just useful if you've got worries about cats, otherwise this would be a very niche episode, because the principles of worry and anticipatory fear are universal. It's the evaluations that you're making. So it might be that you worry about the future, or you worry about money, or you worry about your children. Whatever your worries are, think of them in terms of some of these suggestions and just allow your mind to map them across to make them useful. If you are dealing with a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, you can contact me either by email or click a link in the show notes to schedule a free consultation call. For now, though, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and see if you can get some value from this cat-themed anxiety hypnosis session. Take care and relax. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it. Just relax those eyelids, and with your eyes closed, release any tension and focus on the sound of my voice. So as you breathe in and breathe out, start to scan your body for any clues or feelings of tension or stress. Imagine playing hide and seek with any stress or tension in your body. Could be in your forehead, your jaw, your neck or your shoulders. And as you discover where stress or tension may be hiding, give permission for this stress or tension to be released. So as you breathe in a wonderful feeling of calm, resourceful relaxation, feel that relaxation melting away any tension, and that any stress or tension almost evaporates, melts away, and leaves your body in your outward breath, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine seeing a sleeping kitten. Maybe a specific sleeping kitten. I want you to see how its body's positioned, the pace that is breathing, and almost notice that this sleeping kitten is lost in its own imagination. And sometimes kittens, just like dogs, will twitch their paws as they imagine perhaps climbing or running. But I want you to notice that as you see this sleeping kitten, you start to feel more relaxed, start to feel more calm, start to feel that it's okay to drift off into a wonderful feeling of relaxation. But I want you to imagine, just for a while, to imagine stepping inside this tiny sleeping kitten, and imagine how it would feel to be so relaxed that you're drifting off to sleep. Imagine what it would be like to have those ears that can pick up on all the different sounds, to feel the pads in your paws, to imagine having that tail that can all by itself just move around. There's a desire to yawn, and even thinking about yawning creates a feeling of deep relaxation, a desire to drift off into your imagination and to feel how good it feels just to be so relaxed. And I want you to imagine that this playful kitten is now a cat. But I want you to feel that adventurous streak within you. There's a desire to climb, play, explore, and nap. I want you to imagine it's a sunny day. And I want you to imagine how good it would feel to just explore around. You can see fun and adventure everywhere. A butterfly, a bird, triggers your desire to chase. A tree triggers your desire to climb. And sunshine triggers your desire to just sleep and relax. And I want you to imagine finding a patch of grass under the sunshine, or if it's too hot, just in the shade, and imagine how good it would feel to just relax in the sun or the shade, feeling relaxed. And as that cat, I want you to imagine being a stressed and worried owner. And I want you to imagine that this stressed and worried owner has come to the conclusion that this cat can't be trusted. It's come to the conclusion that this cat will always find its way into injuries, misadventures, and problems. And this owner has a false belief that worry equals love. That if they worry, it means they care. And I wonder what it would feel like to be that owner and replacing that belief with something much more useful. That the greatest expression of love is to allow something to be who they're meant to be, to accept them fully. And I want you to feel how you would feel to be that person, accepting the personality of an adventurous cat that loves to explore, loves to climb, loves to play. And notice that when you tap into that feeling of acceptance, there's a deep appreciation that all animals have personalities, and this personality of this cat is to be playful and adventurous and to seek out things that other cats may be too afraid to do. And I imagine how it would feel to update thoughts and beliefs about what it would mean to think about this cat. I want you to imagine the cat is nowhere to be seen and you are thinking about that cat. And I want you to imagine that your cat is in a peaceful and content state, enjoying her time when you're not there. Maybe you can imagine your cat taking a leisurely nap or enjoying restful sleep, knowing and feeling she's comfortable and safe. And in your mind's eye, you can imagine that your cat is happily engaged in play, perhaps with a newfound friend, or exploring her surroundings with curiosity. Scan your body for a feeling of trust, replacing worry with trust in your cat's ability to navigate her world with confidence and resilience. Maybe there's been accidents or issues in the past, but maybe she's wiser and learned from those experiences. Isn't that what resilience is? Learning from the past to become stronger and wiser in the present. And you can replace any anxious thoughts with the assumption that your cat is having an amazing adventure filled with positive experiences. That your default belief is that Roxy is having a wonderful, amazing time unless you have evidence that she isn't. If your unconscious mind is happy to agree to that new way of thinking, that the default is that she is safe and having fun and completely fine, just let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine Roxy exploring her surroundings, taking in all the wonders of the world around her. You wouldn't want to keep her locked up. You want her to enjoy her life. So recognize that Roxy is a resilient and independent creature, capable of handling herself with grace and adaptability. And you can release any need for excessive control over your cat's actions and embrace the acceptance that she knows how to take care of herself. When you think about how many times she's gone for hours on end and still able to get back like nothing's happened, is evidence of her ability to be resilient, capable, and resourceful. Cats have instincts, and feel how good it feels to trust in Roxy's instincts and natural abilities to keep herself safe and secure. I want you to imagine there's a mental switch inside your mind that we're going to switch automatically any thoughts of danger without evidence with positive assumptions about your cat's well-being. The default before was to assume that she's in danger. The default now will be assuming that she's having an amazing time. And you will need evidence before any thoughts of her being in danger. Without the evidence, there is no thought. And if the thought begins without any evidence, the question is, says who? Show me. And the switch automatically goes back to imagining her having a wonderful time. Because Roxy is a source of joy and wonder, bringing happiness to her own life as well as yours. And you can feel a sense of relief and calmness, not when you see Roxy return. The relief and calmness comes in the process of letting go of unnecessary worry and replacing it with confidence and trust in Roxy's abilities. I want you to imagine her as a carefree explorer, always finding new and exciting adventures to embark upon. In many ways, Roxy is living the dream, living the life that many humans would desire. So when you think about her, you think how lucky her life is. The excitement, the adventures, the interactions, the play. And you could acknowledge that your cat, like many cats, values their independence and autonomy. And trust that she knows when and where to seek shelter and safety. Replacing anxiety with the belief that your cat is well and content. Whether she's with you or without you, you trust in her ability to keep herself safe. Imagining that she's doing fun things, maybe sleeping or playing, exploring, or learning new things. Because cats have the ability to make choices. When and where to sleep, what tree to climb, what place to explore. So feel that deep trust in Roxy's ability to make those wise choices. And imagine seeing a future version of you where Roxy can be away for hours on end and you can just smile with the assumption that she's having an amazing time. And notice, in that future, there is no less love for Roxy. It's just that relief is replaced with gratitude, worry replaced with trust, control replaced with acceptance, and thoughts of danger replaced with thoughts of fun, adventures. And if your unconscious mind is happy to make these changes, giving Roxy the same life she was having before, but giving you much less anxiety, much more peace, calmness, and the ability to enjoy your life just as much as Roxy's enjoying hers, let me know by nodding your head. Allow these changes to take place. Over the next few days, the occasional worrisome thought will pop into your head, and that's an opportunity to train your mind to update your thinking. That no worrisome thought has any credibility without evidence, and your default is to assume that she's having a wonderful time. Each and every worrisome thought is an opportunity to train your brain to release worry and to embrace trust, acceptance, and a deep feeling of gratitude that Roxy is in your life, and you're giving her the ability to live an amazing life. Breathe in and breathe out, and then feel like you're returning to a sleeping cat, your cat, out there in the sunshine. And even that thought is just the dream of a sleeping kitten. To find yourself back in the body of a sleeping kitten. And then just notice that you're now you, but seeing a sleeping kitten. And then feel like even that is your imagination. Thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams. As you now return fully to this present, this moment, listening to my voice, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, feeling integrated into the present. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, a deep sense of trust, a desire to allow Roxy to live her dream life, and for you to have a future of more peace, tranquility, and balance. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.